I'm a firm believer in this. Your school is the heartbeat of the community. It really is. If a town loses its school, the town will start to die. If a town has a school that's progressing, innovative, that's growing, being very successful, that will also happen with the town.
Coming from a building that was over 100 years old, it just really had limitations of where we could hold class, where we could put teachers, where we could put students. To be honest, I kind of felt like for a while we were becoming a little stagnant and just kind of not moving forward like I knew we should be.
I was actually working at Beaker Middle School at the time, the last time they tried to get something passed, and couldn't do it, didn't happen. And I remember just feeling really sad that, you know, we couldn't get this done for the community and for the kids.
I think when Caleb and I first came to Marshall, we had students, or we did have students in trailers, and that was one of my main goals, to not have students in trailers anymore. And we ended up acquiring the Butterfield building, the old Great Circle building, and revamped that. But then this was the dream now, to be able to take all the rest of the old buildings and be able to shut them down. But we wanted to get all those grade levels back together in a new learning environment.
There was a history of not passing bonds and levies in Marshall, to the effect that really, we even had a finance company that said, we'll help you borrow money, but your public's not going to give you money.
Marshall's levy when we came in was one of the lowest in the states. It was almost at the state, you know, where you couldn't go any lower. And we decided that we were in a good position, and with the school board, to be able to go out to the community and explain and really explain the reality of where a lot of the facilities were at.
I shared in writing with the board, guys, here's the thing, our projections are that our reserves will be at 3%. We will have to do things that are not good for kids, not good for teachers, and we can't focus on the negativity of the past, or we're going to repeat the history of the last 50 years. And then from there was a community that said, this has gone on long enough, it's time for us to take pride back into consideration, and we passed it with a 40% margin, higher than we needed to pass it at a minimum. So it was very overwhelmingly supported. And so that's how we got here today. We got here today because of Marshall Public Schools and Marshall's community.
When I went to high school here, you know, on a Friday night when there was a home football game, you could have broken into anybody's house in town because everybody was at the football field in town. You know, you lost some of that momentum. You know, the town wasn't behind itself the same way, and you can see that pride and that momentum coming back, and that support of not only the teachers but the students in the community.
Our first day on site was March 1st, 2024, and we turned the building over to the school August 4th of 2025. So we're looking at about a year and 5 months for us on site.
The intent of this design, and talk with architects and team, whenever you walk into the building, it's supposed to look like river. River's flowing, that's what the flooring set up to mimic, flowing river. Transitions outside, that's that blue concrete to kind of represent and symbolize a flowing river. You got clouds above, the light, the teardrop lights, you know, that's supposed to represent raindrops.
It has really long hallways that are also really wide. It kind of gives us space in between the classrooms for students to come out and teachers to come out for this collaborative teaching, and that was kind of one of the big pushes and wants for the school. So.
I know myself as a parent too, I was sitting in the car rider line last year, and this 8-point buck came running right in front of the car while my son and I are sitting there. So we have turkeys and deer and wildlife all around this facility. So they said, you know, rather than it just being plain concrete, we should stamp some grass in it. We should put some stars and moons and sun shapes and just try to bring the nature there. And then they incorporated that into the landscape and the hallways. All of these animals are Missouri animals, and they're animals that are right here on this property that I hope we see in the next 50 or 100 years. I hope we see this complex grow and have more schools and more pride, and I hope that the wildlife that's around here stays incorporated as part of it.
There are so many wonderful features, and the community will see that when they come through. There is a sensory room that we were not able to have necessarily space for in the other buildings. It supports emotional regulation, skill development for students, a need that a lot of our kids have, and we just didn't have the space for it. Another awesome feature that people will see is the makerspace, and it has a lot of our STEM activities, and we're really excited to be able to rotate all the kids through there, the students to be able to experience that space. It has 3D printing, it has a lot of our robotics, and that is something that our kids, they look forward to the most when they're going through those rotations.
I feel very important about is, if you look at a lot of the statistics, is intruders that are coming in, the first line of defense is your windows and your secure vestibules. So this building, we put bullet resistant film on all the exterior windows and throughout the entire district, and then we put some different polycarbonates throughout the district on entry doors, you know, to be able to stop if there was ever an intruder or somebody meant to do some harm, that the intention is to stop them before they even get in the building.
When you're in separate buildings that are across town from each other, it's hard to know what is this third grade classroom, how are they teaching this standard, where now we're all under one roof and we can collaborate and, you know, support each other in those ways, all in the best interest of students.
And it's less transitions for our kids. It's better for our kids as well. Our kids now will go to kindergarten, first and second grade on one side of this road. On the other side of Slater Street, they'll go to third, fourth, and fifth. So our kids will spend their first 6 years of education out here on this campus.
We're just so thankful. It's such an exciting time to be a Marshall Owl. It was hard to come in and not get emotional because of this building and just the opportunities that we'll have available now.
I feel like as a parent myself, my kids are safer today at Marshall Public Schools because of what the community did to pass this. And I really think this is just the beginning. So I want the community to know this doesn't have to stop here at all. It's about everyone as a community saying, this is what we expect from Marshall and we want more of it. And I hope that we do a lot more of it.
I see this as not just a new building, but a new chapter for Marshall. So I think if we can instill a sense of belonging in our teachers, staff, and in our students, and come May, people say that's my home, then I think